Welcome everyone to the PvZ Madness channel, and I have a new column for you. I'm starting the first PvZ championship. Probably someone already guessed that I have a main channel in Russian. There I have been holding various championships and completely different rules for more than a year. If you're interested, I have added playlists with these tournaments in the description. Even though the language is foreign, but in general everything is clear without words, and you can just watch the battle of all kinds of teams. From today I decided to create championships for you too, or at least test one. You can see all the teams that will take part in it on the screen. From them I have created this tournament grid. In each battle there will be 10 trials, in each of which you can score a maximum of 3 points. For losing 1 point, a point is taken off. For breaking any of the movers, the team automatically loses all 3 points. Well, I guess you'll figure it out as you go along. In order for the teams to be more or less equal, I developed a tier list with a price for each plant. According to this price, the teams were assembled, and I allocated 13 points for each team. All 8 teams do not exceed this price. Anyway, I hope that everything is pretty clear. Let's start the first quarterfinal, in which the team of Stalkers and Shadow Dandelion will fight. Well, let's go to the first round of Cast and Disco Zombies. Each round tests teams in one or another skill. For example, this round mostly tests the ability of plants to defend not only themselves, but also neighboring lanes. I'll call such rounds flank rounds. In total, there will be about 3 out of 10 of them. If the zombies manage to activate the mover on any of the lanes, it will automatically mean the defeat of the team, and in this case, not a single point will go to her in the score. The first build has a distinctive feature in the form of the presence of 3 types of stun. P-Shooter, however, mostly slows down, but can also stun with a certain amount of luck. For example, we are looking at it right now, and the other 2 plants also hit the flanks, which allows to deal with disco zombies very effectively. The only real weakness of this build is the direct damage. Neither Ice, Mortar, nor P-Shooter can be called high damage plants. However, with so many techniques to slow down zombie moves, powerful damage isn't really needed. It's very important that the teams are assembled by tier list. It brings certain limitations when making a team. For example, we can't make a team of Rattle Tomato, Pokra and some cauliflower. That's why the cost limit was created. In the future I plan to adjust both the tier list and the limit to make the tournaments even better. I may even allow you to pick teams, but for that I need to realize that you like my videos. Likes and subscriptions are a great measure. In the meantime, we see that all zombies except the Discotron have been destroyed. The only thing left to do is to finish this tin can, and the stoppers will add their first point to their score. The second team enters the battle, and it's the Shadow Dandelion. This build consists of 2 of 3 of shadow plants. That's where the name of this team comes from. The way this team operates is radically different from the previous team, although it should be noted that Dusk Clover shares some common features with Rice or Mortar. However, it's the P-Shooter that does most of the damage. It has already pierced the Protector, but the danger now is not in the machines, but in the disco zombies flying on the flanks, and one of them is already very close to the mover. With her last butt, the Lobber knocks it down. Well done. Now we need to take on the second pair of flying zombies in the neighboring lanes. Here it's worth paying attention to Dandelion, who helps Lobber. If it wasn't for him, then Lobber alone would definitely not be able to cope even with the first wave of flyers. Now we see that the second pair of disco zombies has already swooped down. The center is also weakening, but the third pair of flying enemies is flying behind Dandelion's back. Dandelion managed to finish off one of them, but the one on top withstood the plant's last projectile. What an upsetting defeat. One single zombie defeated the team. The 3 points were so close, but no, only the top team could get them. Next up is Veteran Bully, accelerated by T-Rex. Plants can win here either with a one-shot attack or powerful range damage, or they can simply knock Bully's acceleration off of him, which is what the stop action team does. Poor Bully is so slowed down that he's barely moving forward, which means he doesn't stand a chance of success. True, we will have to watch his fire for quite a while, because this fellow is very durable, and yet even the Bully fans don't have a shred of hope for his survival. He's already lost 1 limb, and he's only been able to advance 1 cell. The poor guy looks helpless, and he's probably wishing he could go to the afterlife as soon as possible. Well, his wish is finally granted. It's time for the second team to perform. Unlike its competitors, Shadow Dandelion doesn't have as many slowing techniques, although a Shadow P-Shooter can still slow Bully. However, the difference here is that the acceleration effect isn't completely removed, it's only dampened for the duration of the poison's effect, and afterwards Bully makes another dash, and now he's centimeters away from Dandelion. As a result, he was able to deliver a fatal blow to the first plant. The team loses 1 point, and Bully finally loses his acceleration. Now even without the poison he will not do his sprints, and still it doesn't prevent the dead man to reach the second plant and take the second point from the team. The Shadow P is predictably hiding, but not to throw up the white flag, but to pull Bully into his depths. This way this team still managed to save 1 point. From the start the top team takes the lead. There should be a test with 5 zombies as well, 2 regular torchlighters and 1 fakir who spawns from the very edge, but against all 3 of these zombies the stopping action has a counter move. The ISP shooter has simply extinguished them all and now it's need to kill all enemies without fear of being burned, which is easily accomplished by this team. Shadow Dandelion is again forced to invent some way to stay in the game. Plants manage to eliminate the torchlighters pretty quickly, but here the fakir is much more durable and he is out to attack distance. The Dandelion couldn't be saved, but still 2 plants remain on the lawn. The gap has increased by 1 more point. One flank round was already there, how could we not have a flank attack with weak but numerous enemies? Before the latest updates in the game, Chicken Breeder could be killed by stunning plants without chicken ejection, but now everything has changed and this team was not able to cope with this change. Mover activated, it's a total defeat. Despite the presence of Mora and Trice, the first team was defeated. Let's see if Lober can cope with Dandelion's support. She did, and Dandelion backed up the team with his bomb just in time, even though it was very dangerous, and that led to a decrease in the gap by 3 points. Teams should definitely be tested for resistance against zombies with stun abilities, and so we have a stand versus stand battle going on right now. The mage took cover with his companions and began to cast spells from a safe place. The mortar is cursed and the zombie owl still on the lawn for now. Without the apple rockets they have much time to do it, but the hunter is still not okay with it, he's caught up with death. But the mage won't rest and already the second plant has been turned into a ship, and you know what, I have serious doubts that the ISP shooter can stand alone. He was lucky that Octo threw the first octopus past the target, but the second one was right on target. All in all, this is the second round in a row that this team has failed. All 3 plants are out of the fight. And here it is, the Shadow Pea shooter's performance. He should be very effective now, because he can reach the wizard even behind the white backs of the hunter and talk to zombie. Yes, the wizard will use his stuff once, but after that he will be destroyed for sure, which means that we won't see any more ship curses. Octo Zombie didn't survive the fire either, what a twist, we have an equal score again. What's a championship without a beach round? Basically, this test is built in such a way that teams that are built around a powerful midfielders suffer in it. Today's first build is not one of them, but it still has some problems. The fisherman pulls the mortar into the water and sinks it. By this point, the plants have managed to clear the lawn of surfers and grab another diver in the process, and the fisherman was about to pull up Rice, but he's completely frozen by the pea shooter. After the divers appeared on land, Rice is distracted by them. The fisherman had some time to try to sink the second plant, but was too slowed down due to the frost. Now he's alone on the water and he's getting the brunt of it. Will he have the toughness to take the second point away from the plants? So far he's only pulled Rice to one cell and now he is frozen. No, his progress has ended at the apple mortar. 2 points counts. Shadow Dandelion enters the battle. Again here Pea Shooter will have a huge advantage for the team. He gets the fisherman in the rear, but that still doesn't mean he will be able to eliminate him before Dandelion is sunk. Dandelion helped take down the surface, but it itself was eventually sunk as well. Next the divers come ashore and it's unclear if they pose any threat. The Shadow do easily deal with them, piercing a fisherman in the process. The poor guy with the fishing rod still resists, but eventually goes down. The divers were initially not much of a threat. In this round both teams scored 2 points each. Without a doubt, the championship should also be a test for the rear defense. 3 enemy zomboids will help us in this, and it's immediately obvious that the first team has at least one plant that can attack backwards. Rice even destroyed the first zomboid, and I want to clarify here that points are awarded not for plants, but for eliminated zombies. For the weakest one, half a point, for the average one, and for the strong, 1.5. Unfortunately, Rice has a big disadvantage when zombies come close to him from behind. He stops attacking. That's why it was impossible to score more points here. The team of stoppers added only half a point to their score, although they were very close to 1.5 point. Let's see what's in wait for Shadow Dandelion. In the first few seconds it seems that the zomboids won't be attacked at all until easily eat all 3 plants, but let's not forget about the tricky ability of Shadow Pea Shooter, who just hit and created a trap for the zomboids. Since the plants are level 1, the trap has a capacity of 2 enemies, and that earns the team 1.5 points. Unfortunately for this team, the third zomboid will remain unharmed and walk away alive, but either way the bottom team comes out ahead. How things have changed. I had a few ideas for the next round. I wanted to make it anti-magic round, but ended up replacing it with the chaos round. In this challenge, teams can get an opponent on any of the 5 lanes. The cowboys under the influence of the music have a chance to scatter all over the lawn, but the plants from the stoppers team took the bull by the horns and killed the cowboys before they went to the end lanes. Killing a piano player is like taking candy from a child, so this round brings an easy 3 points for the first team. On the first level, Lubber can hardly defend the end lanes, but the zombies still have to get there, and that's not easy to do when you are being fight by Shadow Pea Shooter. All in all, it looks like this team will score no less easy 3 points than their opponents. As a result, the lead is still 1 point. Of course, I also created a round with Gargantuar. It's actually a test of the team's raw power. True, right now it looks like a round with Veteran Bully, but that's all because Veteran couldn't accelerate against this team. Gargantuar has the same consideration waiting for him, even though no one was originally going to accelerate him. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Roman Gladiator is also making some progress, if it can be called progress at all. To me, it's just treading water. He's also getting hit by Super P, so it's not good for him at all. I decided to fast forward a bit to the point where Gag is forced to drop his imp. The little devil casts a net over Mortar and distracts the other 2 plants, giving Gag time to finally take a few steps forward without any stun. Soon the short is killed and the net from Mortar is gone as well. That means it starts all over again. Poor Gladiator, he is not destined to land a single blow this round. He's still making slow progress and he still has a few more squares to go in before Mortar. Obviously he has no chance of success. And here is a confirmation of what I'm saying. Now it's Shadow Dandelion's turn to fend off this bully. Well, we are back to the problem of this build's lack of stun. Yes, Shadow Dandelion slowed down Gag from time to time, but we have already seen that same veteran bully had time to get close to the plants. Although of course bully was under acceleration and Gag is walking at a normal pace. Still, his speed isn't so slow that we don't have to worry about this team. He has already gone as far as he has gone during the entire battle with the stopping action team. And I'd bet anything that he is taking a lot less damage. Well, it's time for the first loss. Something tells me it won't be the last. And let's not forget that the Shadow Pea Shooter will also hide when Gag gets close. So he's killed Lubber, now he's gonna kill the hiding Pea Shooter. Before the final round, the stoppers took the lead again. The last round is spam 100 zombies on 5 lanes. This is where I test the power of a team if they would be on each lane. It will be started by the Trailing team, and I must say when you have a Lubber in your lineup, spam is the way to go. And with his Shadowy Bro helping you out, the zombies will all move down in a matter of seconds. That's an easy 5 points and we have another lead change, but the top team has a round to spare. I almost forgot, in this challenge a point is awarded for each mover saved, so you can score 5 points at once. Despite Shadow Dandelion coming out ahead, the stoppers actually have their own answer to the Lubber. I'm of course talking about Sticky Bomb Prize, which is just as cool an anti-spam plant as Shadow Lubber. Backed up by Mortar and Pea Shooter, this character also takes down zombies very easily. No breakthrough is out of the question here. So today the Coneheads ran into the 2 toughest team and both of these teams didn't allow to activate a single mover. Well, the final score is 22.5 to 20.5 in favor of the stopping action team. Well, in my opinion the battle turned out pretty good and even better than I could have hoped for. Unfortunately, one very strong team has already been left out of the tournament. I have a feeling that not all semi-finalists will score more points than Shadow Dandelion. Well, that's just the way the blind lot has decided and we won't see Shadow Dandelion in the semi-finals. Next Sunday will be a battle between Team P Meteor and Team Shadow Jack, don't miss it. That's all for today. I consider the opening of the championship a success and you write your reviews of the tournament. Also, I would like you not to forget the likes so that I would be motivated to continue this championship. It's a very labor intensive thing to do, so motivation from you will not be useless. I'll see you soon. Bye!